everyone, it's Kathy, and welcome back to my YouTube channel, Kathy's Random Acts of Stampin', and back here in my craft room. I'm so glad you joined me today. I do have a couple of announcements I need to clear up before we move on. One is the new online exclusives will be available to the public on March the 4th, I believe. I'm looking at my calendar, and I believe it's March 4th or March 5th. Something in the back of my brain saying it's the 5th. I'll clarify that and I'll make an announcement on Facebook of the exact date. And there are some beautiful items in the online exclusives. And what does that mean? That means they're not shown in any catalog anywhere. You can only find these by going to my website, type in the search bar online exclusives, and they will come up. Not until they go live, though. Right now, they're only available for demonstrators to order, so just keep that in mind. And after March the 5th, I believe, because that's a Tuesday, that's usually when everything kind of cycles over. It's most of the time on a Tuesday. They will be available for the public. And the last card that I made it using that Magnolia, what's it called? Magnolia Mood. And it is a beautiful stamp set, and that will be available in the online exclusives, along with a lot of other items. The other thing that I wanted to explain to you is Celebration. We're on the last week of Celebration, the 29th, which is this Thursday. This catalog goes away, and so does all of the Celebration items. Now, as you know, they have added some new items because some of the things have sold out. So Stampin' Up, they're actually giving now the set of core colors. These are the 2023 new core colors, a complete set of Stampin' Right markers. This is a $35 value, and you can get it free with a $50 order. There's some other things, some stamp sets that were in the annual catalog that are now available. That's all over on under Celebration. So if you go and you click on your Celebration, or if you place an order, and then it will tell you that you need to choose your Celebration items, they'll all be listed there for you to choose from. The other thing is, if you're interested in signing up as a demonstrator, where you can get this free glass mat, the silicone tray, the cleaning cloth, is absolutely free. It's a $60 value, and you can add that into your cart or into your kit, or you can choose an additional $30 in product. So what does that mean? That means that you can get $125 worth of product plus this for $99 plus tax, free shipping. Or you can get the $125 plus $30 more, which is $155 worth of free product for $99 and free shipping. So you will have to pay your state sales tax if your state has sales tax, and then you can choose anything in the mini catalog. You can even choose things that are online exclusives. You can put those in your kit. And what does it mean when you choose a kit? It just means you get to shop for anything you want for $99, and you get all of that product, either $125 plus the glass mat or $155. It is a great time to join Celebration. You do not have to sell Stampin' Up. You don't have to have a customer base. You don't have to do what I do. You don't have to make videos. You can be an hobbyist and just enjoy the perks of your discount, being able to order the products before anybody else does, getting the catalog before they are shipped out to the public. It's a lot of benefits of being a Stampin' Up demonstrator. So keep that in mind, and remember, Thursday is your last day. If you've been wanting something out of this catalog, or you want to take advantage of the two different options for joining. If you have any questions about this and you need to reach me, please either email me and leave me a time and a number that would be a good time for me to call you, and I will definitely call you back, answer any of your questions, and hopefully get you on the right track if this is something that's right for you. Okay, all of that little houseware business out of our way. Now we're going to get down to what we're going to do today. This card did not turn out the way I wanted it, so I'm going to show it to you because everybody thinks everything I do is perfect. This is far cry from perfect. This kind of sinks into the card. It should have been either done in plain white, or it should have been done in the Night of Navy. I didn't like the way the flower turned out. The coloring is horrible. These aren't too bad, but my fussy cutting wasn't the best in the world. So we're going to redo this card today, and we are going to make it beautiful, or at least we hope to. What we're going to do is something totally different, and it's going to be using this Layered Floral 3D embossing folder. And this is in the mini catalog, and it is available through the end of April, so we still have time for this. And it is such a beautiful embossing folder. And I cut a 6x6 piece of white, basic white cardstock to emboss. So we are going to put this in, and we're going to run this through our embossing folder first. So let's go ahead and do that. And what I'm going to do, I've cut most of my pieces as far as what I need to do for my sizes. And I'll give those to you. And always remember that I have a free PDF tutorial over on my blog post where you can print it, save it to your computer or whatever device you use, and you always have that to reference back for each and every project that I make. So I put this in on my number 1 base plate, and I put my folder in with the paper, and then I have my number 4 specialty plate. This plate is just for your 3D embossing folders, and this is a 3D embossing folder, and it is gorgeous. So I'm going to go ahead and run that through, and look at the beauty of this piece after you emboss it. Is that not gorgeous? I love this embossing folder. It has been one of my favorite since the minute that I saw it. And I'm going to choose one of the flowers, probably this one or this one, and we're gonna fussy cut it. But I'm going to show you how to do that in just a minute. I'm going to lay that over because I have one more thing I want to do with this embossing folder. My front piece, my focal point on the front is going to be the Azure Afternoon. And I'm going to lay it in, and I'm going to lay it right in the middle. I'm using that registration mark right there at the bottom front of the folder, and I'm laying that in to get it nice and straight, and I'm going to close that up, and then I'm going to put this back onto my number 1 plate with my number 4 plate over, and we're just going to crank this back through and get a nice impression on that beautiful piece of blue. All right, so we have that. And look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? It is such a pretty embossing folder. If you don't have this one in your stash, you need it because it is just so pretty. It goes really well with that magnolia too. We're not going to use that today, but it does go beautifully with it. So I'm going to lay my embossing folder out of the way. Let's go ahead and put our plates away for now. We may need them again, but for right now we don't. And let's move our machine. Now I'm going to pull in my pieces for my card, and I have a piece of basic white that is cut 8.5 by 5.5, and we're going to score that using our scoreboard at 4.25. So I'm going to bring in my scoreboard, and I'm going to put this all the way up into that or that left-hand corner. And then what I'm going to do is take my stylus, and I'm going to score this at 4 1/4. Just like that. And then I'm going to turn it over, and leaving it up into that corner edge, I'm going to fold this over and crease it down. And that shows that you get a nice, even fold that is perfect every time. You want to fold into that mountain, not into the valley. If you fold it the other way, you're going to be off a little bit on the edge. Just another little tip of the trade. So now that we have our card base made, I have 2 mats. No, I have 2 mats. I have a Night of Navy that is 4 by 5.25, and that's going to go on like this. And then we have this piece that we just finished embossing, and that's going to go on. Okay, I guess what we'll do, we're going to layer these like that. Before I layer this, I want to add some white craft ink to the front of this. And how am I going to do that? Very, very simply. We are going to take our basic white. It was called Whisper White when I bought it. It has since then been renamed Basic White. And I'm going to grab a blending brush. Actually, I don't want to use the blending brush. I'm going to do this a little bit different. I am going to use the ink pad itself and kind of drag the color over my flowers. So I'm going to lay it down and just ever so gently, I'm just going to do that and see what it's doing. Then I'm going to turn it this way and I'm going to do the same thing. You want to be very gentle, and you may need to practice this a time or two. Then I'm going to turn it sideways and I'm going to go this way. And then I'm going to turn it this way and I'm going to go in that direction. And if it's not giving you enough of color on the flowers that you want, just go back and hit over them just a little. See what that did just by tapping? You can tap onto your flowers and get a little bit more color to them just by doing that. Isn't that gorgeous? I love it. I think it just really makes that embossing folder come to life. Now I am going to dry this because I want to make sure that this ink is dry before I put anything else on there. And to make sure I didn't get any of that white ink on my work surface, I'm just going to wipe it off like that. And I'm going to dry it using my heat tool. And I'm going to dry on setting 1. So I'm going to dry my desk as well. The desk is easy to dry. I can help it along with one of these cleaning cloths. But you know, the ink itself is going to take a minute or two to dry. So I'm just going to go over it and just make sure that it gets good and dry so that I don't pick up any of that white ink when I come back and do other stuff to this. So there we go. So pretty. Look how gorgeous that is. Now you could also do this and run your Versafine ink, not Versafine, I'm sorry, Versamark, and then use white embossing powder and heat set it. That would be as equally lovely. You can actually heat emboss using the white craft ink as well. So I think that is probably dry enough. And we can go ahead and put that out of our way. Now what I want to do, you remember this piece that I cut. What we're going to do is we're going to take a blue blending brush and the Azure Afternoon ink. And I just want to do one flower. So I'm going to ink this up. And I'm going to bring over just a piece of paper just to cover my work surface. And I want to tap that ink off. See how stark that is? I don't want that stark ink going onto my flower. I want it to be subtle. So I'm going to just start very, very subtly just on that one flower. And just keep pressing until you get the desired color that you want. Now, if you want a little bit more ink in the middle, just come back and tap it. The tapping process is a fairly new technique that a lot of crafters are using. And it does have its benefit. See how it really does bring out the little stamen in the flower? I love that. So we'll just tap a little bit more, and then I'm going to smooth it. That is so pretty. So now we're going to take our scissors, and we're going to fussy cut this flower. And you're probably saying, oh, no fussy cutting. So many of us do have a time with fussy cutting. If you have never fussy cut an embossed image, it is so easy because you have that edge there. And all you have to do is just trim around that edge. Let your scissors kind of flow. And just take your time. When you're doing this, you're not in a hurry. It's more important to get your flower cut out properly than it is to get it cut out fast. So just remember that anytime that you're fussy cutting, take your time. It's not a race. I think a lot of times we are nervous when we're fussy cutting, and we think the faster we can go, the better, because we don't want to make a mistake. That is probably not what you want to do. So just continue around that flower. And if this gets in your way, you can always cut this off like that. You can actually get to a point where you can just cut your flower out like that, and then just continue with this, and it will make it a little easier to make your curves. You just cut down. And then come back in. Make sure you're getting your scissors. I like to angle my scissors like that when I'm cutting around. It just helps me follow that pattern a little bit better. And then follow around like this. And then get it around here. And that's how easy it is to cut out that flower. And it is beautiful. Now, I do have blue ink on my hands because I've been handling all of this different colored inks. And yeah, it will cause you to get a little bit of coloring on yourself, but that's okay. So now we have our focal point for our card. And look how beautiful that is just laying on here. But we're going to do some other things. Using the Notes of Nature die set, I cut out several of this leaves and these leaves. That was the only thing I used out of here. And this is what I have. I have like bukus of blue leaves. And that's what I wanted because I want to build some dark around that beautiful white and blue flower. I think that really sets it off. It gives us, we're going to move up just a hair so we have a little bit more space at the bottom. And I'm going to build some of these around just by laying them in. They're so pretty. And it does add a beautiful, I don't know, just a little something extra to your piece. I want some of them to come down from here, and I think I might use another one of the bigger ones. I got plenty. I cut way more than I needed. So I'm going to lay that one right there. And then I'm going to bring one of these down like this. And maybe another one of these down from there. I really just want to build a collage. I love a collage on a card like this. And I'm going to show you what else we're going to be doing with this. Oh, I didn't get that little piece out. Make sure that you pop out all the pieces of your little stems and leaves. That is important. I think we might do one coming off like this. Put those together. And it just makes a beautiful collage of greenery that is really not greenery, but native navy. Now we're going to take this piece that we embossed and we're going to cut out some of these larger flowers. They are beautiful. We can get 1, 2, 3, a large one, and maybe 2 of these smaller ones. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut around this one. And maybe around this one. And I'm just trying to cut around these to get them out of here. So then I will go around the petals and cut them out. But there's 2, and I want one more. And I think I'm going to take this one right up here. Okay, so we can lay that to the side now. So now what I want to do is I want to cut each one of these little flowers. And again, they're easy to do because you're just going to follow that petal. And these are so forgiving and so easy to cut because they're very elementary. So just stay on the outside of the little hump and you can cut around these so easy. And they turn out so pretty. and they're going to make a nice little accent point on our. Now, if you've got some little dies that you would rather use than fussy cutting these, you could do that, or punch, whatever you have that you want to use. I always say use what you got. But I will say that this embossing folder is so pretty. I can't imagine anybody not wanting this embossing folder. So like that. So there's one of our flowers. So now let's do this one. Okay, we got those trimmed out. That's exactly what I wanted to do. But I want to accent the middle of those, and I'm going to use the dark, that's Night of Navy. That's not what I want. I want the light Azure Afternoon. And this is it right here. So all I want to do is I want to come into the middle of those little flowers. Now, if you don't have a marker that you can coordinate the color, you could come back in with a little blue gem or sequin. That would work just as good. And all I'm doing is just coloring in that little teeny circle in the middle, just to give it a little bit of definition. Just like that. Aren't those pretty? So what we're going to do, we want to strew these down like they're coming off of these leaves, something like that, down the front of our card. I love that. I think it's very pretty. Now, when we lay this, we got to glue everything down, but I just want to show you when you lay this onto that piece of Night of Navy matte, and then all of it onto the white card base, it just is stunning. I think it's gorgeous like that. Now we can use our dies, and you might have wondered where I got the happy birthday from. That actually came from the Wanted to Say dies, and these dies are so pretty. You have several different words, and this is just so cute. So this is your celebrate. I think this one we're going to make it a celebrate card, and that one will cut like that. So what I want to do with this one, I think I'm going to cut the solid out of the Night of Navy, and then I'm going to do the white out of the overlay. So let's do that real quick and see what we come up with. So here is our white. I'm going to put this one down on here, and I'm going to use my Post-it flags just to hold that in place for me. And then my outline piece, I just need a strip of Night of Navy. I think that will work for my Night of Navy. Yeah, that will work. We'll see how this one looks and see if we like this a little bit better. So I'm going to move this out of my way, and I'll bring my die cut machine back up, and we're going to run these through and see what we come up with. So machine, we need our plates. So for this, we need our number 1 plate. We need our number 2 die adapter plate. We need a very worn and loved cut plate. And then we need a number 3 cover plate, which is the same. So I'm going to put this up here like that. And I'm going to put this one over here like this. And we are going to cover them and crank them through. So let's lay that up there. We have our celebrate all cut out. I'm going to lay them over here, and then we'll move the machine, and then we'll pull everything out. I think that might work a little bit better. Okay, pull this off, and we have that outline of celebrate. And then when we pull this one off, we're going to have the word celebrate. Now, if you are one of those people that likes to use adhesive on the back of these, you could have put the adhesive on here before you cut, but I kind of tend to like it like this, and I can glue it where I want it, and it's not that hard to do. Although the adhesive paper does make this a lot easier, but we're going to glue this together, and I'm going to grab the silicone craft sheet. I'm going to put this down so if I get glue, I won't have it on my work surface. It'll be on that, and I can just peel that right off. And I'm going to use my little reverse tweezers to hold this. So I'm going to grab it right about here, and I'm going to use my glue gun. This is that precision glue press. I think I'm going to lay it down to give me a little bit of stability, and I'm just going to dot, dot, dot glue around here like this. And then we can turn this over and get this piece going in the right direction. We can lay that down, lining everything up as we go. Just like that. And now I'm going to let that dry while we finish working on getting the other things glued down. So let's move that back there. Bring our card back over. Now we are ready. Let's see how that's going to look across here. I think that white is going to really make everything pop. Oh yeah, isn't that gorgeous? I love these colors. Everything stands out much better by doing it this way. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my leaves and these two right here and that bottom one, I'm going to glue them onto the back of my flower. And I'm going to do that by putting glue just on that stem. A little bit of glue right there. And I want this one to come out from here. And then I want this one to come out from right about here, just like that. So I'm going to put a little bit of glue right about there. And then we can just lay that into the glue. Sometimes that's the easiest way to do it. And then you can still move it around a little bit. So that's going to go like that, and that's good. Now this one right here, I want it to be coming out from under the bottom. So right about there. So I'm going to put some glue here. And then I'm going to take this piece and lay it underneath. Something like that. And that right there is, Toby, no. Sorry about that. So what I want to do now is I want to grab some dimensionals. Toby. I'm going to grab dimensionals, and I am going to put dimensionals right over just to help hold down those pieces, even though I did glue them, and my glue is going to hold really well. I still want to make sure that everything is adhered. So that's going to help that work, and I'm just going to use my little tweezers to pick these off with. And now I want to lay this about like that. And I'm going to go ahead and stick that down because I know that's where I want that to live. I'm going to take those little flowers away, and then I'm going to work and getting these pieces put exactly where I want them. So I know I want that one to go up underneath that leaf. So it looks like it's just flowing directly down. Again, a little bit of glue right there on the end of that. And then just slide it up under that leaf like that. And it will look seamless as you're putting this together. So I want some more of these coming out this way. So again, I'm going to take and put glue right on the end of that. And I'm going to tuck this one under this one. And then this piece is going to go like here. Something like that. And I think I want one more piece to be coming off about like that. And I think that will do it. Isn't that pretty? Do we need another one coming off this way? Yeah, we may not need any more. This may be all we need. I don't know. I like that one right there. So I'm going to do this one. And I want this one just to be right up under the edge of that. Like that. And now we're ready to put these on. And for these, I'm going to use some the mini dimensionals. And those are just like our big ones, only they're small. And I'm just going to put one on the back of each of these little white flowers. I think all of us love blue. And when you put in a splash of white with your blue, it just really sends everything crazy. I'll go ahead and peel off these backers real quick. Like that. And then I want these to look like they're trailing down. Let's decide where we want this. I want this to go right about there. So I want a flower there. And a flower here. And where's the other one? It's stuck to my hand. Oh, isn't that precious? And I'm thinking I might want, let's see, this is going to go right here. Maybe this one here. There we go. We'll just press those on. And now, because this is a solid piece back here, I can actually use a strip. And I save all of my little guts from the edges of my dimensionals, and I cut them and they look like this. This is perfect to put across here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to measure that to about there, and I can cut this just about in the perfect length that I need it. And then peel off my backer and set that down just like that. Now for this little area up here, I am going to cut this little piece. Something like that. And let's see if we can get that. I'm not sure if I can get this one to work or not. If I don't, we might have to just let that. I'm going to try to turn this in a little bit of a circle without it showing. Let's see how that looks. Yep. That will work. So I'm going to pull this off. And now I am ready to set this right into the middle of our card. Just like that. And the front of this is done. All we have to do now is put our pieces together. So I'm going to use my liquid glue. And I'm going to put a good amount of glue on the back of this because you've got all of those little nooks and crannies from the embossing folder. Now you could use two-sided tape, you could use your Stampin' Seal, whatever, tape runner of any sort, whatever you have, and make this work too. So let's lay this down. Well, we need to come down a little bit. That's so pretty. I love it. And then when we throw this onto the back, onto this white um, card base, it is just going to pop. Look at that. So now all we have to do is put our liquid glue in the back. And I'm going to lay it like this, making sure I'm getting all of my borders nice and even, and give it a press. And what a beautiful card. Tell me who wouldn't love this beautiful, uplifting card. I think it's glorious. And remember, you could use any sentiment on this. This would be a great get well card, a happy birthday card, thinking of you card. I can't imagine anything that you couldn't do with this card, and whoever the recipient would be thrilled with it. So we're going to use, I think this card base is longer. It is. It is 5 3/4. That's why my mats were not fitting. This card base is a little, I must have mismeasured. But anyway, we're gonna make it work. We are gonna make this card work. I'm gonna go ahead and put this base in. And we are gonna make this another happy birthday card because everybody needs to celebrate in their birthday. Let's do this like that. I love this one. I didn't forget your birthday. I'm just stretching out the celebration. We all have those birthday cards we send. They're just a tad bit late. And this would be one of the greatest sentiments to put on the inside of one of those type of cards. And we all do it. We forget. Not that we forget, we just, I mean, life happens. We never mean to forget someone's birthday. You think about it, or you put it in the mail like the day before their birthday. The mail's not going to get it to them. So there you go. So we're going to use that one, and I'm going to do it in the Azure Afternoon. And I want to stamp a little. Oh, here was one. Oh, happy day. I'm going to stamp from that magnolia mood. I'm going to stamp a little magnolia in the corner just to kind of bring everything together. I think that'll be pretty. So let's grab a stamp block and I'm going to pick that up and let's ink it. And I'm going to set it right about there. I love it. Such a pretty stamp. And now let's get that little magnolia. About happy birthday underneath it. And then our little magnolia. We'll do this one just in the corner, right about here. So cute. And then the happy birthday. Let's do happy birthday right here. Just something a little bit different. I love it. I like different. I think sometimes we need to think outside the box and do things just a hair different than what most people do. So let's put some glue on the back of this. We can never ever have enough birthday cards because it seems like every month, I don't know how your calendar is, but mine's always full of birthday. And sometimes I'm just not, I may be in a slump. We all get there, but having some pre-made, beautiful birthday cards is something we all need to have in our stash. This one definitely fits the bill. Now, like I said, this one I think was a miss. This one is a hit. I don't care for this one. This one I think is gorgeous. Let's put some gems on it and maybe even tie a bow. What do y'all think? Let's see. I've got some of this azure. I don't know. I need something darker. Okay. Maybe I want to just use a linen thread. I'm not sure. Yeah, let's just do linen thread. Whenever I'm in question of what type of bow to use, I usually go back to my linen thread. I love it. I love the way how it ties, and it's so forgiving. And this is kind of curly, so it's going to make a really nice little curly bow. I'm just going to thread that through and then bring that back up and around. Voila. I'll rock that back and forth just to make sure it's secure. Let's pull the tails down together like this. That made a really cute little loopy bow, didn't it? So let's put that bow right about there. Oh, I love that. Don't y'all love that? Just that little something right there really does add. So I'm going to use my favorite method, and that's one of my glue dots. And I want to kind of take this off with my finger, and I want to kind of ball it up a little bit. Just roll it in your finger and then stick it onto the back of your linen bow, and then stick that down right where you want it, just like that. And now I'm going to look for some gems because I think we need just a little bit of sparkle sparkle. And Bright Skies has some really pretty ones that are in the blue. So let's take those are going to get lost on there, aren't they? I think I'm going to go with something different. You know, you can never go wrong with rhinestones. So let's pull out. Let's just pull out some of our rhinestone basic jewels. These are always so pretty, and they show up on any color from white to black and everything in between. So I'm going to take one of these and put it there. One right there. And how about one right there? There we go. Now we have decorated that card, and it is stunning. I hope you've enjoyed the making of this card. And if you are interested in any of the products that I used for this card, everything is available except this happy birthday here and the little magnolia flower. But you could use any flower you have and create this card. The embossing folder really is the star of the show, and the word dies. What were they called? um, wanted to say, and the floral embossing folder that is called Layered Florals 3D. So if you're interested in purchasing any of the items that you saw me use today, please reach out to me, or you can click the link below and go directly to my store and just shop away. Thanks so much for being here. I love you guys so much. I couldn't do this without you. And God bless and keep you. And as I always say in closing, let everything that you do and say bring glory to our Savior Jesus. He is worthy. Until next time, God bless and keep you. Bye bye.